maybe a month away from actually bolstering up all three phases of football. All three phases. So like I said, this is the DMV Sports Show. We're going to get right to it. So I got Big Steve, I got Coach, and I got Eric here. And they're going to help me out with this question I'm about to pose to them because I think they have the best, answers that fans wants to hear. And so here we go. To the panel, my question is, if we are the GM, what side of football do we want to bolster up? Do you want to bolster up the offense, defense, or special teams? Let's go with Coach and end with Big Steve. I know Big Steve is rambling, so that's why I start with Coach.
We definitely have to bolster up our defense and our offense, period. Both of them. It's going to take both. I got to say that. And now I did read where you were talking about the money, money-wise.
Right.
Okay. With the defensive line, they made a selection at the draft for that was last year, 24. And that was, I don't know if I can pronounce that right or not.
It's okay. It's all right.
It is a potential replacement. Is that for Payne?
No, I think it was for Allen.
Yeah, it's for Allen, and that is Jerjon Newton. He was drafted in the second round.
Johnny.
Yeah. Yep. So they're contemplating on that. That's a possible or potential replacement.
So basically, so what you're saying is that the organization is thinking about letting go on Allen and putting Johnny in there, and then putting somebody on the reserve in case Johnny gets hurt, and then they can plug him in.
And that's what they're saying. Now, potentially, my opinion, why I know they got to pay him. Well, they're going to have to pay him anyway. It's just the fact that if you're going to pay, you might as well keep him.
Exactly.
He's good.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep. I totally agree.
I have to say, you might as well keep him because money-wise, that's what I would do. And I definitely would, build up that defense because the defense can get it back to the offense. And I want them to jail like this last season. They jailed. That's one thing that's going to bother me. I mean, are these guys that are coming in, are they going to be able to, click? That's a big thing. And, you got to have your radar on that.
No, that's,
you know what I'm saying?
That's a good point. That's a great point. Eric.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, sir?
I'm good. Before I am fine.
That's good. God is always good.
It's an interesting question. I've been seeing this for the last half of the week on Twitter. When the guys put it up, do we attack the O-line or the D-line first? As we're talking, it's a tricky thing. O-line was functional, but the D-line was not.
Right.
And defense wins championships, but we got issues here with Cosby going to be out most of the year with his ACL. That is a huge hole.
Right.
What I would do is got a young quarterback. We need some young pieces around here to grow with him. I would, as we go through the draft, right, I wouldn't side with either one. DPA, best player available, whether it's O-line or D-line, with an eye towards, keeping up on free agency as far as that goes. Speaking of free agency, you seem to be really hype on Stephon Diggs.
Yes.
It's a cute idea. It's early for me.
Well, if I may.
When I talk about Diggs, when I talk about Myles Garrett and stuff like that, as you were talking to Coach, the brotherhood was a very important part of the magic we had last year.
Right.
So we're bringing these guys in.
Yeah.
We hope they buy in.
Right.
To that. We're going to lose a couple people that were part of that brotherhood. That were, some glue pieces to that brotherhood.
Yeah.
It's going to be. I would hope a goal to maintain that brotherhood going forward. I'm trying to talk myself into thinking, well, this is just negotiating. You don't want to lock in on one free agent team, like Garrett or Diggs. You want to keep the market open and pumping for your sake. But I just have to keep reminding myself it's early.
Well, if you may, let me tell you why I think Stephon Diggs is a perfect fit for this offense. And if you look at Keflon Kingsbury's, Cliff Kingsbury offense, it's more of a spread offense. It's a more wide receiver set, 4 wide receiver set in the beginning of every single series, or a bunch, or a 3 wide receiver set with a running back in it. It's never an I formation. Normally, when you run an I formation, there's a back and maybe a fullback in the backfield that allows you to block that last blocker to get the gate open. Cliff, his philosophy is, why do that? And you can have a wide receiver set where you can have a gap open for a running back to go through. Who can actually open up the A and B gap much wider than Scary Terry? It's Stephon. So you get Stephon Diggs, big catches over 50 plus yards or every 20 plus yards. You open up the B gap and the A gap, but just enough for you to double Stephon and have Scary Terry, in a single man-to-man. Now, who beats man-to-man more than anything on this team? Scary Terry. You saw what happened against the Lions.
Absolutely.
So you look at it like this. This is why I wanted Clef here, because his philosophy makes sense into what we're trying to run. He wants out of the gate. He wants the defense to try to stop whichever he's doing. So if you put Scary Terry on the far left end of the sidelines, right? That means that the right side is not going to have any actions. They know that because Scary Terry is the primary wide receiver, right? And this was what I was saying to another Commander fan about Luke McCaffrey. Luke McCaffrey is not a threat. Now, if he was a threat, then what you do is you have the defense go into a two-man over, which means that anything beyond the free safety, they would have to protect, where the touchdown is. But if you look what majority of our games is always a 2-man under, because they know that we can't even throw it that far because there's too much pressure coming from what's his name? I get when I get like this, I forget people's name because I'm making a point.
That's okay. Luke, he didn't get a lot of opportunity last year, to be honest. And I like to see what he does. For most people, well, do we bring him back?
James Daniels. My bad.
Bring them all in camp and see what they do. Things will be a little bit more settled. Like last year was, was a madhouse with the name change, the team change, the coach change. Everything was changing, right?
Right.
But this year come up, let's actually focus on some of the players. You mentioned somebody. I'd love to have T. Higgins, but Cincinnati's kind of like, they're like, hell no.
Exactly. That's what I was saying before. I was telling another commander that. I said, listen, we're not getting
to. I would love to have T. Higgins, like I said, with an eye toward you, with an eye towards, building something with JD5, that sort of a thing. And, that plus, like I said about Diggs, we want people that want to be here. Diggs' home is here,
Yes.
But he's been bounced around a lot.
Yep,
Bounced around a lot. So I just hope, if he comes here, he's got the right viewpoint, right attitude. But dang, I want T. Higgins so bad.
Well, let me go ahead and introduce our new. Hold on, I'll let you finish. Let me introduce our caller.
I'm done.
You done? All right. He is the co-host of the Hand Sports Show, and none other than Louis Tenor. How you doing, Lou?
All right, well, thanks.
You're welcome. Now let's go ahead and go to Big Steve, and Eric just made 5 great points, and again the person's name was Jane Daniels. I apologize, Dayton. Hey man, you number 5. You're still alive to me, man. All right, go ahead, Big Steve.
Okay, people forgot the big elephant in the room. Why did you think the Washington Commanders got the San Francisco 49ers special team guy? Because we want to bring Deebo Samuel to the Washington Commanders, because not only Deebo Samuel is a special teams guy, he's also a wide receiver. They're going to also bring in Stephon Diggs, and they're going to also bring in T. Higgins. And they can also either bring in young. They're not going to get old but what you call from Buffalo. They're not going to bring in old guy. What you going to be gone? Allen going to be gone because he spoke too many bad things to the Washington Commanders in the past, so he's going to be gone.
Yeah.
So we're going to sign for a couple of years. So 93 ain't going nowhere, but 94 gone. That's why they drafted the guy from Illinois, Newton. So he's going to be gone. They're going to get another lineman, another cornerback, and I'm sorry to tell you, I've been saying it all week, Scatterboo is going to be a Washington
Man,
Commanders.
here you go with the Scatterboo thing. Listen. Listen, Big Steve.
The Commanders, because Brian Robinson is not the answer for us. Both our running backs, other running backs from last year, is going to be on our team. Because they're a good running back, Rodriguez and the other guy.
Okay.
Yeah, Robinson not B-Rod not for us. He's a good player in the past, but he fumbles too too much for us.
Well, to be a fair and balanced person, B-Rob fumbles were not all on him. Let's be real. It was play calling by Cliff.
I think he's just been beat up.
Yes, that's
He
accurate.
gets beat up. He gets beat up. But guess who they talking about bringing back? They think about bringing back our former right tackle from that's gone to Jacksonville. You know who I'm talking about. The one that was all pro for a couple of years, and he went to Jacksonville because ain't want to give him no money. So
what?
I think he's coming back.
More Moses?
The one from Iowa.
The one from Iowa.
You talking about Sheriff?
Oh no. He's talking about Wes Martin.
No, Sheriff. No, I'm talking about Sheriff.
Sheriff? Oh, Brandon Sheriff.
Yeah, they talking about bringing him. Yeah, they talking about bringing him back. Because once hurt himself because he signed that 4-year deal.
I don't think.
If he plays right guard and play right tackle, that's our beef right there.
But
nothing wrong. We got the left side hook.
But the problem with that is his team lost a little bit of technique. So I don't think he'll be fit for what Kingsbury wants to do on the offense. I think what he wants is.
You know what?
I'm being real with you.
That's what they said last year. That's what they said last year. Look at offensive line. When the last time you heard Holden? The last time I heard Holden was Holden, number 69.
Okay. I get what you're saying. I'm not in for it or bringing 69 back.
That if B-Rob was given a different, not just straight up the middle, because everybody knows.
Exactly. Thank you, Coach. That is the perfect response.
Yeah. I told you that's coaching. You
yes.
need to listen.
No.
Seriously.
Here's the thing that I'm gonna say about the offensive line. Of course, we need better left tackle, left guard, and we need to know if the center Sam Cosby is going to be back or not, based off his injuries that would have sustained through.
No, our right tackle. He's our right tackle.
Oh, I'm sorry, right tackle, but we still need a center. So we don't know.
No, our center is from the Cowboys. They left.
But we don't know if he's going to be back or not. That's what I'm saying.
Hey, he's going to be back. We signed him for 4 years. Oh, he's being back now.
But listen, we could trade people and still sign them. We've done it before.
I know, but we said, we had the number 3 offensive line in the NFL.
Yeah, but again, we couldn't go over the hump.
Number 1.
No, listen. I know we had the number 3 offensive line, but still the offensive line needs to be reshuffled, and we're still trying to figure out the people who are who's consistent. Right now, we don't have the consistent capabilities of a left tackle, right tackle, and the center. So, from what I've read and from what I've heard from other NFL commentators, they're not too sure about the offensive line. They said everything else can be sliced. Everything can be added on to. But as of right now, our primary goal is to figure out if the nucleus up front is the right thing. Because, Coach admitted she made a good point about B-Rob going up the gap. It's play calling. So if the defense know that we're running in the A gap, and you have to stop B-Rob or Nick Nichols or dang it, I keep forgetting Nick Nichols, and then you have Eckler, then you're stopping all 3 of them because you know exactly what the gap they're gonna hit. But if the gap is widened, that's why I said bring in Stephon Diggs. You have a more widened chance of grass to get to for the first down. I wanted to ask Lou a question before I continue. Lou, you there?
I'm here.
Okay, great. So it's a Dallas Cowboy question, because you have the knowledge. I'm sorry, but how do you feel about Zach Martin retiring?
Doesn't come as quite a shock. I mean, he really has, not had like last season. I'm not surprised. It was time for him to move on. He's had his very days here, so this doesn't come a shock to me at all.
Okay, and there was a recent article stating that y'all might be in the running for 2 possible free agency pickups. One of them might be Cooper Kupp or Deebo Samuels. No, I'm sorry, either Myles Garrett or Deebo Samuels. Do you think that that's accurate based off your financial status with the Cowboys?
Probably not, but I would have to choose one or the other, of course.
So who would you want the organization to go after based off your financial status with the Cowboys?
Yeah, read them again. You mentioned 2 of them. You read the names again.
Deebo Samuels, Cooper Kupp, Myles Garrett, Nick Bosa, Garrett.
Well, I have one. I have 2. I have Samuel or maybe Garrett. If I was a betting man, maybe I go with Garrett. I mean, can't afford that.
That's what I was about to say. I mean, that's based off need. I understand that because I did ask him who would he want on the team, but based off the financial status of the Cowboys, they don't have that much money deep in their pockets to get the type of money Garrett wants. Now, I can honestly say y'all might get another wide receiver from one of those, might be the Jets or maybe a defensive back that I forgot what his name is, but his last name is Bryce. No, the running back Bryce. You might get Bryce from the Jets because he's within your price range. You know, you might get that the other wide receiver. I mean, the other DB, but I forgot what the team name is. But anyway, that's probably where you might find your gem because you don't have that much capita, and then you need that much. Then you need that money left over to go in the draft and get you a rookie. You know, but so do you think the new head coach understands where everything's at? I mean, how he's going to structure this and who he's going to keep, who's going to let go?
Like I said, being a new head coach, probably not. You know, it takes a while for him to get the flow and everything. You know, for the first year, you know, you don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
Even though he is a son of a legend, but you know, he has to work it out for him.
I agree. Good
and
point.
Of course, we're talking Dallas, where it's like, you know, what the head coach got to do with anything as long as Jimmy, they got that owner up there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I mean, Eric got that
confusion and restructuring and stuff like that. You know, Jerry Jones is like, ooh.
Yeah, he's like the crypt keeper. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, sorry, but go. You know, Lou understands because you know he has the same sentiment about his owner and the head coaching and the staff and everything. I mean, that's why I ask him because he's more knowledgeable in that area. But to go back to what I was talking about, our organization and what we need to do. This is what I said about 2 years ago when we had Ron Rivera. Everything is within our grasp right now. We have a potentially to go and win a Super Bowl. We were even close. We were one game away. So what we need to do is we need to restructure every single thing, or we need to find what the pieces that we need to mold and we need to fit. And then once we did that, it would have been, it would have been everything within this place. So this is why it is so important to look at free agency and see what fits with us and who can we actually move forward with and just say this could be it. This could be the moment we win a fourth Super Bowl and be tied with the Giants in the Super Bowl category. And it's so exciting, to hear that, we're so close in this area, So
it's going to be a rough season coming up because they all want to get, they all want to get up there. And man, we come so close. I'm like, oh man.
The funny.
We can do it. We can do it.
Yeah.
I'm tired of playing them fools. They're talking about slapping us up together for like the first week or the week going over the season. I'm like, look, I'm tired of Philly. Tired of them.
I think if we see, this is why I was kind of shocked because the first quarter of the NFC Championship, the first quarter we were battling pretty well, right? I know we didn't know what they were capable of doing until the later end, but as soon as I saw 23-34, all we had to do was score one time and we'd be down 4, right? And what happened was we got too complacent and we played right into their hands. And then after we played right into their hands, they butchered it. Like they butchered it and waited and waited and waited.
The doors off.
Right, exactly. So we kept messing up on ourselves while they just capitalized on our mistakes every single time. And then when they got closer enough, then they let us have it. And then that's when it was all she wrote. But let's be real. If Joe Witt played a better scheme than what he did, but of course, yes, that's all we had. That was on the roster. That's all they had to put on based off the NFL rules and regulations and what they must do and how they can capitalize on it. They didn't have no choice. So I get it. I understand. But they could have played a better system than what they did that night. Hats off to Joe Witt to get us that far. Let me be positive about this, all right? Hats off to him for playing what he needed to play to get us there. But we were playing the Eagles who knew us. So it would have been more understandable if you changed the scheme from what he had versus a gap control type of defense. We wasn't playing gap control. We were trying to place a more a cover two type of defense to stop the weapons that they had, which was completely a bad idea because we left the gate open several times, right? And that's what
That's what they wanted.
Right. And exactly. That's exactly how the Eagles wanted it. They knew if we had Johnson open, then they could throw it to Johnson and have, Saquon Barkley open up in the middle and then get a touchdown. It was that moment when they had, Scary Terry in the slant for that touchdown. We were battling back and forth. They didn't want to battle back and forth. They wanted to embarrass us. You know, and that's what they did.
Yep.
And when they embarrassed us, then they would feel comfortable.
And the fact that they came in, and I was reading them right. I mean, they were not, up for battle.
Right.
They were not.
No, they wasn't in. They were too worried about what the Eagles were going to do, and versus they playing their own game, and that was my concern too.
Right.
And once I saw that, I was like, no, don't do that. You had them exactly where you wanted them. All you had to do was run another slant on the opposite side and let them go out the sideline, and then what you could do.
We need to spend Red Bull. Right there it is.
Yeah.
I think the thing about that is they would have to pay me a lot for me to do that because I would definitely, be the defensive coordinator. But I think the problem is my knowledge would be I wouldn't allow St. Jude to be the cover guy. I would let him be the person to go sack the quarterback or protect the underneath, the bootlegs and the screens. I would be the one for him to go take on the running back because he does have the speed and he has the quick hands to, bat the ball down.
Seattle's going to be back.
He should be. He's our center.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's what I was wondering because he's good, but I didn't like the way they were. Oh man, they knocked that. What out of him?
Well, I
love Badass. Man, Badass better stick around.
I do too, man.
But see, like I was saying, like I was telling Big Steve, there's the organization looks at quality and they looks at playability and productivity. If the productivity doesn't meet their standards this year and what they did last year, they don't know if you're going to be back or not based off this training camp and spring training and preseason. That's what I was telling. That's the way it
should be.
Right.
That's the way it should be. But I had no problems with Badass.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. I don't have any problems with him either. But they look at if he.
That's his boy. He takes the snaps from Badass. I mean, why screw with that?
Well, that's why that's what I was saying about Johan Dotson. And look what happened to him. He's Super Bowl champion now. You see what I'm saying? Those
Ain't
things.
that a blip?
Yeah, I know. This is what I'm saying.
But look what we did with the other wide receivers. What you call them? Brown became a better wide receiver.
No.
And then when Whitcomb came in, what he did?
No, let's not put Brown in that. Let's not.
The other wide receivers became
Which
much
Brown?
better with Daniel Daniels.
Let's not put
Donnie
Brown.
Donnie Brown became much better.
No.
Remember, he was dropping passes the last couple of years.
He was still dropping passes.
Yeah, he became great.
No disrespect, but
Well,
Donnie
I
Brown
mean,
still be dropping passes.
I thought he could be something, but they got rid of him. I think there's some non-football related stuff going on there too, because his mom was sick.
Let me be real.
Up there in like Jersey, Philly, so.
Let me be real quick, and I'm gonna be 100% honest with this statement. And I know, Steve, I have no problems with your commentary, and no problem with what players you believe in. None of that. You're great. Here's the problem. Here's the problem I have with Donnie Brown. Here's the problem. No. Hear me out. Donnie Brown is still the same person that could catch the football and run with it. He did that in the Browns game. We saw that. He did that in the Pittsburgh game and dropped the pass. He's still the same person because he did it in the last championship game when they threw it to him and he dropped the pass. So he's not really a outstanding football player. He can catch, he can run, but he thinks about running before he catch. That's not how you're supposed to catch. You're supposed to catch, turn, and run. He's going to run, catch. Oh, it failed. So I'm not
You
really.
mean while you're running at the ball? Is that what you're saying?
What I'm saying is that Donnie Brown mindset is 100%. 100%. I'm going to catch. I'm going to be in full stride. I'm going to be in full stride, and then I'm going to catch the football, and then try to run for a touchdown. When you're supposed to stop and look and locate for the football, drop in your hands, and then run. He didn't do that. What he did was he looked at the football and then turned and started running. And that's the problem. He doesn't actually go through the progression.
Correct that. That's simple.
But see, that's what I'm saying. That's why I was telling Big Steve. He's not improved. He's when they told.
If they pointed out to him, and yeah, they do have to point that out to him.
Right. I mean, that's what the tapes are.
Do that.
I
what I'm saying? See that difference? See that
Right.
difference?
And that's what tapes are. And that's what film is. Film is actually pointing out your weaknesses and getting better in it. But he's not the type of wide receiver that we need. We need a Stephon Diggs or
Yeah. We need another Curry.
yeah.
Especially when Curry gets covered. Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
But we could use Brown, on the other half.
I think we can use him on punt returns and kickoffs.
Yeah.
I think that's basically where we can use him at his more effective ability. Is when they kick it off and he can actually run 30+ yards and get out of bounds. That's where we need him at to contribute.
I don't know. I mean, Brown, both the Browns, they don't suck. Okay. They're pretty decent wide receivers,
Right.
blah, 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 no problem. But the thing is, we have an opportunity here with JD5, with all this cap room and stuff, with Terry holding it, carrying it on the other side. Get another Terry. Well, not exactly another, but get somebody at that talent level. Let's, like you said, let's blow the doors
What
off.
Eric is talking about is genetic codes. We
have been
can't do that.
As Washington fans, we have been so used as Washington fans to being average. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
No, let's be a monster. We have the opportunity
Yes.
with all this happens. Let's get somebody and get two people they have to be scared of.
There
know
you
what I'm
go.
saying?
Yeah, because
That's
if they leave
what I'm
one,
saying.
if they cover one, he can get the other.
Yo, that is correct. Eric had played. Look, Eric, that's 100% right. I think
That's
we do need a triple threat match where we have three capable players to produce massive yardage and massive touchdowns to give defense to think about and see if they can stop them.
Yeah.
And I advocated for that as well because, you know, it brings me back to my favorite player back in the day, you know, Jordan Reed. Jordan Reed was a tight end / wide receiver, and you couldn't stop him. You can hit him, he'll take the hits and still get a touchdown. It was the most amazing thing that nobody can ever do. I mean, even though when he got the concussion against Roy Williams, it was the illegal hit, and then they said it was legal and when it wasn't. He had that massive concussion. So
real quick, while you're on the subject, why in the world do we keep sending him into death zones?
Because
every week. I mean, couldn't we call a play where he didn't have to get killed every play?
well, okay.
God, I hated that.
So here, to answer your question, you're absolutely right. But the offense, we were dealing with Jay Gruden at the time, wasn't? I think it was Jay Gruden. I think it was Jay Gruden. I'm not sure if it was Jay Gruden. I think it was. I think what they were probably doing, they knew that he couldn't be stopped. So what they did was they sent him into enemy territory too many times, and they knew it was coming to him. What they tried to do, Roy Williams tried to time it so that way when he hit him, he wouldn't catch the football. But just like how they did Gary Terry in that last game against the Giants, right? And they hit him and they sandwiched him right in, you know, where his helmet hit the face, and they didn't call it that penalty, right? It was a problematic thing because they didn't know whether it was a penalty or was a legal hit. And then when they went to and here's the funny thing, it was in the last minute, within the 2-minute warning, they're supposed to review everything, and they didn't do it. That's on the rest. So it in the same sense, when he got hit in the end zone, they said it was a legal hit when it wasn't. Anything above the neck.
Well, how come that?
Go ahead.
I hear you, but it wasn't one game. It wasn't just one team. I mean, like, we used to send him across the middle all the time in every game, every opponent.
Yes, that's true.
Gets blowed up.
That's true. But you know, football is a contact sport, and you know when you play football, it has to be 100%. You know, any type of play, any type of given day, you got to go in there and perform. But you know, they got to protect. You know, concussion protocol is real, so they got to really protect their players. So you know, let's revisit this question in the last minute. We got to go to some other, you know, football related teams like the Washington Wizards losing to the Milwaukee Bucks 104-101. I mean, they're good, but they're not good enough to be a top tier team like the Milwaukee Bucks, who just traded Middleton for Kuzma, and now it's just you know, they're going to get the, you know, first round in the draft, and you know they're not going to get Cooper Flag. Cooper Flag wants to, you know, be in the college ranks again because he doesn't want to leave. He wants to, you know, play his season out, so he's not coming out this year. So I keep telling the Wizards fans the truth, and they get mad at me for telling them the truth, and then when they hear themselves, they don't want to acknowledge me. I'm right, so I'm like, okay, well. We're still going to get somebody from the draft. It just won't be Cooper Flag. All right, just deal with it, man. Right. Move on. So if you look at, this she's in her depressed mode right now. I don't know why, but if you look at what we're dealing with now, is that the Wizards are trying to get better. They're trying to mold their team the way they can be ready for next year, which is not a bad thing. But you know, your 45 game losses, you have 10 wins. You know, I don't know, you're gonna get any more wins. I mean, at least you have a chance to play in the end tournament and lose. It's okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, the good thing about this is it's quite entertaining. You know, I think what's more importantly is how do everybody feel about the Luka trade to bring LeBron? How in the world?
Man, Dallas got robbed.
Big time. Big time.
Robbed.
And then not only
AD was hurt.
that's what I was saying. That's why I want to get to that. Oh my gosh. You know, not Cooper Cup, excuse me, but Anthony Davis, who had just won a tournament championship with the Lakers. It was during the pandemics, the bubble championship and the in tournament. You sent him to the Mavericks, and now he's out indefinitely. Then you get Luka, who loses to a team, the Charlotte Hornets, who is now 1-2 in his debut, and then you have the Nuggets beating the Charlotte Hornets the other night, and he still can't be a top-tier team. So, folks, explain this to me. What is going on?
What now?
You say that Anthony Davis is not good enough to be in the NBA to win another championship. Then you bring in Luka, who wants to play with LeBron, who wants to play with the Lakers. You bring him over. And then you tell the guy, Connect, you're doing so great, we're going to trade you. Oh, we changed our mind, Connect. Come on back. And Connect is sitting on the bench with his hand in his cheek and like, I'm not playing for you fools. I'm not playing with you. I mean, you right. and then not only that, you had him on the bench, and then the commentator comes back and goes, "Hey, how you feel?" Oh, he's walking past me. Okay, all right, no worries. And then you go right to LeBron. And listen, folks, the NBA has now lost its mind. You know,
we know that right now.
It's not like it used to be. I remember when Reggie Miller had beef with Michael Jordan, excuse me, and I used to love that. And I remember how the Knicks, John Starks and Josh Stockton, not John Starks, but Josh Starks, and I forgot the dude's name. You know, the center from the Knicks.
Yeah.
I remember how those used to be top tier beefs. Patrick Ewing, thank you.
Number 33.
Yeah, number 33, Patrick Ewing, and they had beef. And then you had Isaiah Thomas. Then you had Joe Dumars and Michael Jordan, and those matches. Then you had John Stockton and Moses Malone. I literally remember how much trash talking they talked about each other. And then you had Alonzo Mourning trash talking a whole bunch of trash to, I forgot who that guy was. It was a lot, bro. It's just, from this moment on, there's no more of that. But I literally am disappointed, because now it's just like, you want to play with us? Come on, play with us. Try to see if we can win a championship. And then, yeah, she's depressed. You know, she's in the bathroom. I told her not to do that. Yeah, it's one of those moments. It's one of those depends moments. Those depends. They ain't working right. Yeah, that's echoing right now. I the massive echoing on the show is hilarious. But anyway, yeah, I'm listening.
Did you hear those trash cans playing an Astros game once?
The actual team?
Well, I think it was the trash cans that were used in that game. That's what's coming up with the sound effect over there. I think it was the same trash can.
It's all right, man. It's all right. You know when that echo happens, it seems, you know, Yeah, she's playing music now that makes her, happy because she don't have to think about that massive echo. Anyway, but if you look at the NBA right now, it's really bad. It's really bad for the for the fans. The fans, like, if you looked at the All-Star game, was boring. Completely boring. There was no hype. There was no excitement. Even the dunk contest was horrible. I mean, even I was looking at the agility test, and I'm like, what are we doing? We're playing with kids, little basketballs now? What are we doing?
Yeah.
We have lost our ever-loving minds. The 3-point shot thing. Let's talk how that is. The 3-point shot contest lost meaning now. Because there was no way in this world that you had two individuals shooting and then lose. Now, Chris Paul and Wembanyama lost, and they were disqualified because they did not make any shots. Right? They had the quickest time, 17 seconds. And they were eliminated because they didn't do not one thing. They're not. Chris Paul bounced the ball so high it went over the big hole that was moving. And I'm like, okay, this guy either blind or he just wanted to go home or he had to use the bathroom, marry him here. But anyway, I was just like trying to figure out what is going on with these individuals. And then not only that, LeBron, before the All-Star game started, he literally said, "I'm not playing in it." At the last,
Literally what?
Yeah, so 5 minutes before the All-Star game starts between East and West, or whoever was playing, he said, "I'm not playing in it."
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
The 5 seconds.
What in the world? Do you need a cactus or what?
He needs everything. He needs a cactus. He needs the bulldozer. He needs the wrecking ball. Somebody needs to hit this.
They need to change the game. But you know what? To be honest, they say if they say something's not broken, don't fix it. There was nothing wrong with the old format. Okay, sure,
Thank
there was
you.
a lot of defense, but there was some offense and more action. But that's how I've been explained. This didn't even remember anything near an NBA game to begin with. It was like watching junior varsity play against high school team or whatever. I mean, this format didn't make any sense. You should have kept the way it was East versus West. It was highly competitive despite, high scoring. And if it's not broke, leave it alone, man.
Exactly.
But what would they do? What do you think they should do to change it? Should they go back to the old format, or should they do what they did with hockey with the Nation's Four? And that was also another option that we're thinking about.
Well, I mean, if you look at what we're doing right now, I think the NCAA has it right. Go back to the Final Four. If you want to do something, start it out early, play teams, and then what they do, see the last 2 games of the start of the regular All-Star game, and then let it end it like that. Forget all the agility, forget all the 3-point thing. If you're going to really be boring, just put the Final Four in, and then let teams watch your favorite team win. Because let's stop with the boring aspect of it. It's really horrible. People watching this and they're not entertained. They just see it. Yeah, it's like a horror show. Exactly. Let's go quickly. We got 2 minutes left. Let's go to the NHL. Hats off to the Canadians beating the Americans for the championship. I mean, listen, it's been one of those things. So hats off to them.
Well, the problem is, though, that we have not seen the Canadians in any kind of international competition since 1996. The sad part.
Well, you know what? It's a new time for everything. So we got 1 minute. Capitals are going to go to the Stanley Cup. I see nobody in front of them. They just beat the Penguins today, 8-1. Yo,
What a game.
that game,
8-3.
8-3. We're
Hovey.
still, hey, yo, Ovi is actually close to the number, folks. Number 20 is about 3 away. 3 away.
They played today, didn't they?
Yeah, they played today. Yep.
Yeah.
Back in the break.
With that being said, I want to thank Lou, Big Steve, Eric, and Coach for coming in and the DMV Sports Show. We're going to talk about the same things, but with more enthusiasm, because right now somebody has to run. So anyway, but look, we're going to talk about everything under the sun. We're going to talk about the Commanders, off season, Baltimore Orioles, Maryland Terrapins, Washington Wizards, and you. We're going to talk about you and what your team is, and make sure you stay in and get connected. You're human first, everything second. You're conquerors by definition, so go conquer your dreams. Be safe. God bless. Have a great weekend, and go Commanders.
Go Commanders.
Go Commanders.
Thanks for you coming into the DMV Sports Show, and hope and pray that you have a great day. I'm glad that you sat here and entertained us, and we were entertaining you as well. Make sure you come in and talk about your favorite team, represent, say your name, rep your team. The caller number is 512-543-4662. Make sure you state your name for the record and the team you represent. Exactly what I was trying to say. You God bless. You're human first, everything second, and conquers by definition. So go conquer your dreams. I'm out. Peace.